Hello, this is Ashley McFarland from the American Malting Barley Association, and I just want to thank you for submitting an abstract for the Barley Improvement Conference 2026 poster session. This presentation is just meant to provide some details on how this will all work because this is a bit of an unconventional poster session compared to other conferences. Just know at any time if you need to reach out with any questions, I'm happy to answer those via phone or email. So the first thing that we need to have you do is register for the conference. This is a limited opportunity. We only had so many spots, and we definitely don't want to tie any of those up if you're not able to make it. So please go ahead if you haven't already and register for the conference. You can find all the details on the AMBA event page. Again, let me know if you're having a hard time finding the registration link. The next most important thing is to get what I'm calling your artifacts to me. And this needs to be done by December 15th. So as was explained in the call for abstracts, we do not do full-size posters at our venue because we just don't have the space for that. So what we do is we actually have you produce one slide to kind of queue up your poster for the evening during the conference. And then we have an artifact or what is kind of used as your poster during the poster session. And I'll talk about each of those in a bit. As I mentioned, you will present that slide at the conclusion of the first day of the conference on January 7th after all of the other talks are done. We do this in kind of a rapid fire succession, and then you are required to attend that welcome reception that evening to be with your artifact and answer any questions. So now a few more details on each of these items. So first of all, for the slide presentation, you are limited to just one slide. And this is because you're only going to have 90 seconds to talk about what is on your slide. You do need to submit this as a PDF on December 15th, on or before December 15th. The slide really should focus on visuals and limit text. And I do want to make sure your name and affiliation are on there. And this slide is really just to entice people to come find you during the welcome reception and so that they can kind of strike up a conversation and learn more about your research. So this slide is not meant to spill all the beans, give all the details. This really is just actually used to kind of tease up what you're going to be talking about when you're standing with your poster. Please do practice timing. I will cut you off after 90 seconds because we just do not have time for longer than that. So please work on the timing of what you would like to talk about as you're presenting that one slide at the end of day one. There will be a little bit of time after we do these quick kind of lightning presentations before the session starts. So you'll have a little bit of downtime there, but know that it pretty much does flow into those 90-second presentations, a little bit of a buffer, and then we move into the welcome reception. So this is just an example of what that slide should look like. This is just something that I made up. What barley varieties were planted in 2023? I've got just very short, succinct text on this slide. I have a visual, a graphic, and also a photo. I've got my name and my affiliation on this. This is all that we want to see on a slide. It's more about just providing something visually appealing to look at as you're giving your 90-second elevator speech on why people should come and find you that evening. So now, as we progress into the actual welcome reception, what we're going to have you do is produce an artifact, which is just an 11 by 17-inch document. Okay, so this is like legal size paper. You do not need to worry about the printing. All you're going to do is create this artifact and submit it to me as a PDF, again, by December 15th. Very important that everybody sends these items to me before the holidays, both your slide and your PDF, because we are all going to come back after the New Year's and pretty much head straight to San Diego. So it is really important that I get these before the holiday breaks. Again, with this artifact, I really want you to focus on visuals, limit text. Absolutely no way are you going to be able to put all the content you would in a full-size poster that you typically take to a conference on just an 11 by 17-inch document. So you are going to need to limit things. Again, you need to include your name and affiliation with it. I will provide the printed off version of that and also have a tabletop easel that your artifact will sit on. What I would consider is either having a QR code on that artifact or perhaps even providing some like little note cards or business cards with a QR code that can then take that person where they can see additional visuals, additional information, link to publications. Again, this is not a conventional poster session, so not all the information is going to be out there. We don't even share those artifacts after the conference. It's more about connecting you. This is really a networking opportunity for people to learn more about your research and understand how they can connect with you after the conference. So on this slide here, I do have a YouTube video of kind of how to really display this information in a more concise way. Definitely probably different than what you're used to. But this is just an example, kind of a graphic showing what we want this to look like. We want you to be there with your artifact, very visual, again, trying to pull people in, wanting to talk to you. There's going to be refreshments. A lot of people are going to be seeing each other for the first time in a while. So what you're going to want to do is be able to attract people to what you're working on. If you want to have other things at your table, that's totally fine too. Of course, we're all flying into San Diego, so you're probably limited a bit on this, but by all means, bring props, bring things that you want to entice people to your table. But the most important thing is being there, being available to talk, and making sure that you're connecting with folks so that they can learn more about what you're working on. So other reminders, bring along business cards. Again, this is about connecting people. So make sure people know how to get a hold of you after the event. As I mentioned, you're welcome to bring handouts or other things to have at your table, but I will not be able to do any printing for you outside of your 11 by 17 artifact. So if you want to have handouts or papers, that's great, but know that those are your own responsibility. And you are responsible for staying through the duration of the reception. So please don't try to skip out early. That reception starts right pretty much after we do the presentations, right around 5:30. There are going to be refreshments there, and it will last till 7 o'clock, which time most people are going to head out for dinner after that. But just keep in mind that you do need to be there. And once again, this is a limited opportunity. Not everyone that submitted an abstract was able to participate just due to our size limitations. So if you do not think you can comply with these items, I completely understand that, completely respect your decision, but please let me know so that I can let someone else have the opportunity. So with that, again, just please know that you can reach out to me with any questions or concerns. I look forward to hearing more about your research, and please do send your slide and your artifact in a PDF version by December 15th so that I can get that all prepped before we head off to San Diego. Looking forward to seeing you in January. Thanks.